We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Kindly subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends and relations. And click on the bell icon for instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded on this channel. Rest assured that we are going to have a very exciting and inspiring discussion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. Welcome back to English Classes Online. Today's lesson is on how to answer Jamb questions with ease. Whether you are preparing for the 2024 Jamb exams or just looking to improve your general test-taking skills, this video is here to help you succeed. In this lesson, we'll be focusing on sentence interpretation with a special emphasis on idiomatic expressions and the use of literary devices. By the end of this video, you will have the tools you need to confidently tackle these types of questions. I am Benjamin, your host. Let's dive in right away. How to interpret sentence meanings. Sentence interpretation is a crucial skill in answering Jamb questions. It involves understanding the meaning of a sentence or passage, especially when idiomatic expressions and literary devices are used. Idiomatic expressions are phrases that don't mean exactly what the individual words suggest. They are often culturally specific and require interpretation. Literary devices are techniques used by writers to convey meaning or create effects in their writing. Now, you need to understand that most sentences that students are asked to find the appropriate interpretation for contain idiomatic expressions. If you look through Jamb questions on sentence interpretation, you will understand that this is exactly so. We can figure out the meaning of an idiom by examining the elements that make up the idiom and the mental pictures they create in our minds. To do this, we need some literary devices such as the following: 1, metaphor; 2, imagery or images; and 3, symbolism. Let's examine these briefly one by one. Metaphors. What exactly is a metaphor? A metaphor directly refers to one thing by mentioning another. A metaphor states that one thing is another thing. For example, Jack is the black sheep of the family. This means that Jack is a disgrace, a failure, or an embarrassment to the family. Mike is a lion in the boxing ring. It simply means that Mike is a powerful wrestler. So metaphors involve using one thing, to stand for another. Now, next we look at imagery. What exactly is imagery? Imagery is the use of words to describe ideas or actions. An image is the mental picture you have about what has been said, heard, seen, touched, or smelled. For example, they have been at daggers drawn for months. When you look at the expression at daggers drawn, you have a picture in your mind when you are looking at people who have drawn daggers. What exactly does it tell you? So by examining the type of image that an expression creates in your mind, you can try to figure out the meaning of a sentence. So they have been at daggers drawn for months simply means they have been bitterly hostile to each other, because when people draw daggers, they they want to fight, and which could even result in death. So bitterly hostile. Dan gave the lame excuse that there was heavy traffic. Then when you look at the word lame, if you can have a mental picture of a lame person, the crippled, and you discover some abnormality. And so when that is used to describe an excuse, it means that this is an inappropriate excuse. It's not a completely acceptable excuse. Okay, so that's really what it means. Now, next we have symbolism. Symbolism is the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. Certain things are symbols for certain ideas or qualities. Let's look at some examples. Anna went through fire in the man's house. You know, the idiomatic expression here is went through fire, and fire is a symbol of suffering. Okay, so it simply means that she suffered or experienced difficulties in the man's house. Next, James discovered that his account was in the red. Now, in the red is an idiomatic expression which, you know, the color red is a symbol. You know, in accounting, red denotes debit. So it means that James had no money in his account. Instead, he owed money to his bank. Other examples of symbols include crown. Crown is a symbol of royalty. Cross stands for suffering. The serpent is a symbol of evil or deceit. Rose symbolizes beauty, and so on and so forth. Now, let's begin to look at the uh, the Jamb questions English language 2019. Okay, we want to actually apply the skills we have just learned. We want to look at use these literary devices and figure out the appropriate interpretation or explanation for given sentences. Now look at in each of questions 26 to 30, select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. So we are going to look at this one by one. Question 26, the men were not pawns in someone else's political game, and we have options A to D. Question 27, the class was tired of the new boy joining away all the time. Then moving on, question 28, the governor parried all the questions put to him by the journalist. 29, Bassi is as hard as nails. 30, the conference is biennial. These are all from the consolidated Jamb questions, English language 2019. Now let's begin to look at the questions one by one, beginning with question number 26. The men were not pawns in someone else's political game. A, the action they executed was their idea. B, the men used someone else's plan. C, they were used by someone's political game. And D, they love playing the political game. Now, first you need to look at the expression. You know, to be to be a pawn in someone else's game is, you know, to be used by them. Okay, that is, you have to execute their own idea, not your own. Okay, so that is simply what it means. Okay, but here they were not pawns. Okay, they were not pawns. This means that, you know, the action they executed was their idea. They were not pawns, so they did their own thing. They were not playing second fiddle to anyone. So the correct answer is A. The action they executed was their idea. Next, we have 27. The class was tired of the new boy joining away all the time. Now, the word join is taken from the jaw, the lower part of the mouth. When you are talking, your jaw, moves, makes movement. So when you are jawing away is an idiomatic expression that refers to talking frequently. Okay, so let's examine the options. A, he bit off people's jaws. B, he was always chewing in class. C, he talked continuously in class. And D, he was always making trouble for the class. So the correct answer is C, he talked continuously in class. Okay, so you can use imagery when you look at the jaw moving, is something that has to do with talking. Okay, 29. Bassy is as hard as nails. A, Bassy is very strong. B, Bassy is very brave. C, Bassy is determined. And D, Bassy is unsympathetic. Now, as hard as nails actually refer, when you look at nails are hard, even the word hard actually shows you something really hard, strong. But then this has to do with a human being. So this refers to the feelings, when someone, is not easily influenced, or is not, sympathetic. You may be appealing to someone, or, trying to uh, uh, get someone to do something for you, but the mind is made up. It's not easily influenced. So D is more appropriate. Passive is unsympathetic. That's just what it means. Okay, doesn't easily uh, respond to emotion. That's what it means. Question 30. The conference is biennial. You know, A, the conference is held twice every year. B, the conference is held every 2 years. C, the conference is held every other year. And D, the conference lasts for 2 years. Now, the correct answer is B, the conference is held every 2 years. Biennial means something that happens in 2 years. Okay. This brings us to 2020 Jamb questions. In each of questions 51 to 55, select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. And we have questions 51, 52, then we have 53, 54, and 55. So let's take these questions one by one, beginning with question 51. Emeka wished he had started school early. A, Emeka started school early as he wished. B, Emeka regretted starting school early. C, Emeka regretted not starting school early. And D, Emeka could have started school early if he has wished. Now, one important step to take in interpreting a sentence is to first look at the sentence itself and look at the words as they are used in the context. Emeka wished he had started school early. He wished, which means he didn't actually start school early, but he wished he had done so. So there's an element of regret in Emeka, that he didn't start school early. So you have to view a sentence and then look at the context. We call it contextualization in language learning. You look at the context, how the words are used. So when we look at the various options, option A, Emeka starts school early as he wished, is not true. That's not what the sentence is saying. B, Emeka regretted starting school early. That is also not true, because the truth is that Emeka did not start school early. And then three, Emeka regretted not starting school early. This is appropriate. This is the correct interpretation. Okay. C, Emeka regretted not starting school early. That's the appropriate interpretation. And then we move on to question number 52. You could have heard the sound if you weren't asleep. Again, you first have to take a look at the use of words there. Option A, you were not asleep, so you heard the sound. B, you were asleep, so you did not hear the sound. C, you heard the sound, though you were asleep. D, you did not hear the sound, though you were not asleep. Again, you look at the sentence once again. You could have heard the sound if you weren't asleep. These words refer to someone who was asleep and could not hear the sound. And so you could have heard the sound if you weren't asleep. And then we look at the options. You were not asleep, so you heard the sound. That's not true. B, you were asleep, so you did not hear the sound. That is correct. That is the appropriate option. So the answer is B, you were asleep, so you did not hear the sound. Moving further, we get to question 53. Tom ought not to have told me. A, Tom did not tell me, but he should. B, perhaps Tom was wrong to have told me. C, Tom told me, but it was wrong of him. D, it was necessary for Tom not to tell me. Again, we look at the sentence. Tom ought not to have told me. That means Tom should not have told me. It was wrong for Tom to have told me. All right. Now, when you get the basic meaning of the sentence, then you look at the options one by one. A, Tom did not tell me, but he should. That is not correct. B, perhaps Tom was wrong to have told me. There's no element of probability here. C, Tom told me, but it was wrong of him. This is the correct option. So answer is C, Tom told me, but it was wrong of him. Now, question 54, Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. A, it was typical of Bolade to make a mess of things. B, Bolade cannot cook. C, Bolade will not cook the rice. And D, Bolade does not like cooking rice. Now, again, we look at the sentence, Bolade would make a mess of cooking the rice. Now, it's not about all types of cooking. This is specific, you know, it is a specific reference to cooking the rice. And so this nullifies option A. It was typical of Bolade to make a mess of things. It's not about all things, it's about cooking the rice. B, Bolade cannot cook. This also is not correct. C, Bolade will not cook the rice. This is correct because there is specific reference to rice. There is, a particular cooking that is referred to here. So Bolade will not cook the rice. The rice is given. Now, question number 55. The manager said that the new loaf was the last word in bakery. Now, the idiomatic expression here is the last word. When you say something is the last word, you are referring to its exceptional quality. You know, That's what it really means. So let's look at option A. The loaf was the best ever baked. B. The loaf was the last to be baked. C. The loaf was the worst to have been baked. And D. The loaf was the last in the baker's directory. Now, when we look at this, option A is correct. The loaf was the best ever baked. When something is the last word in something, it is the best in that class. All right. And so this is exactly what we have been looking at. Answering Jamb questions with ease requires a combination of good reading, comprehension, critical thinking, and an understanding of idiomatic expressions and how literary devices are used. By practicing these skills and strategies, you can improve your performance in the Jamb exam, whether you are going to sit for the Jamb in 2024 or beyond. Thank you for watching this lesson on how to answer Jamb questions with ease. We hope you found it helpful. Remember that with dedication and practice, you can achieve success in your exams. See you in the next class. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you.